Hello, hello, hello there. Hold on, let me invite some people. Last night's stream was weird. I was getting blackmailed. Good thing I woke up before the blackmail started. Also, I threw pop at the guy that was blackmailing me, and he kept on saying, "I'm gonna blackmail you." And I tried to throw pop at his jeans to make it look like he pissed his pants. Yeah. Fuck you, blackmailers. Fuck you. And also fuck your wife and your family. If you try to blackmail me, you're not gonna blackmail me. I'm gonna do something worse. Anyway, if someone blackmails you in person, and if you have a pop in your hand, throw pop at them. They'll probably still try, but I don't think they have proof on you anyway, to be honest. If the person that's blackmailing you says that they have stuff on you, chances are they don't have stuff on you. You know, good thing that was just a dream last night. I thought it was real at first. Good thing. Hey BRC, did you see the AEW live events in March and April? I think I saw somewhere in Pennsylvania, but I didn't see any for Charleston, West Virginia. Why did someone try to blackmail you? No one. I'm at my dream. It was my dream last night. I thought it was real last night. And if someone does blackmail me, I'm going to say, you don't have proof on me. And number two, this was in person, by the way, I would throw pop on their jeans to make it look like they pissed their pants, anyway. I really don't care if they have proof on me or not. They're not going to find much. Only the thing that might find is an OnlyFans account, but, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't have that OnlyFans account really that much anymore. But let's just say this, if anyone tries to blackmail you, and they say they got stuff on you, chances are they probably don't have stuff on you. They're probably just joking, And if someone does blackmail you, for real, call the police. Or something like that. Or call somebody. Tell somebody. I don't know. But that was just a dream last night, from my knowledge. But maybe he's just trying to warn me, Anyway, I want to talk about some, and then Peta didn't blackmail me. Hold on, wait a minute. Baltimore, Maryland is the last time I listed on the website, but you know what venue is a couple hours away from Baltimore? Let's see here. Trying to see more. The WVU Coliseum. That's interesting that you say that, too. But I don't want to go to the WVU Coliseum for AEW. I want to go to the Charleston Coliseum. But I guess if they're doing smaller arenas, I'm gonna have to go. But anyway, I got this book, even though you don't see the book that well yet. But it had to do with this story that you see on the screen. Now remember, Peta is a weird group. They do some good things, but this one's out there. They're trying to get rid of the Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Okay? And, but what they really should be worried about, or should be focusing on more, is what's happening at SeaWorld and Marineland. But I think they have to be more focused on this right now because this involves an animal called a groundhog, and it's called Groundhog Day. But yet they're too busy, wanting to make a cake reveal of the a vegan cake reveal of this cake shaped like a groundhog, I guess, is like a weather reveal cake or something, which is weird. Yeah, Pennsylvania, a combo of Pennsylvania and Kentucky. I was going to get to that in just one moment. But, that's what my dad says and everyone else says, too, about Pennsylvania, some of Pennsylvania. But let me tell you this, though. I will tell you this. My dad says that more than Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania. I guess because he doesn't really like Pennsylvania. I don't know. But anyway, other than that, I don't know why my dad doesn't like Pennsylvania. Oh, that's right. I don't want to say it on here, but it's probably because of the politics up there and also because of the people. But other than that, I don't know. I cannot remember why he doesn't like, I think he doesn't like Pittsburgh because it's hard to get, it used to be hard to get into Pittsburgh. And I think that's sort of true. It is hard to get into downtown Pittsburgh and hard to get out. Also, I did want to say this, Pennsylvania is Pennsylvania, just Pennsylvania, but it's also a combination of Pennsylvania and Kentucky, which, I know they're far away, but still, which is called Pennsylvania. But anyway, Peta shouldn't be focused on Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania's Groundhog Day celebration. They should be focusing on more, because I saw a commercial from Peta one time, and I did agree with them on one thing, which was what they were doing at SeaWorld. They shouldn't be doing that thing at SeaWorld, where they're having these captive, killer whales or orcas or whatever, for entertainment reasons, But you see, here's the difference between that and this. See, with Groundhog Day, this Punxsutawney Phil, Punxsutawney Phil lives a good life. The orcas, do not. I'm just telling you that right now. But other than that, the only thing I don't like about the celebration is the top hats. Who wear the top hat anymore other than these people, It's kind of like being like Abraham Lincoln in modern day times, I don't know, because, but from what I gather, they gotta be the fattest Abraham Lincoln I've ever seen. I mean, from the looks of the photos, I thought I was fat, but, I think if I wasn't a top hat, I think I would blend in with them, but here's the thing, I don't wear top hats and no one else does except for these people. Okay, I just want to get that out of the way. And plus, I think why Peta is also after this event, because they're the sponsor, and I think the sponsor real well, because they advertise this on TV a lot. I'll give you a hint what it is about. It's your cousin from Boston Yeah, I know everything. You know, what type of beer. Yeah. It's okay to beer fest. Summer Ale. Yeah, it's Sam Adams beer. Sam Adams. Or Samuel Adams beer. Did you like my impersonation of that commercial? I hope you did. And I hope that did really well on camera, but you know. But I hope it did, because that I thought it was funny. I don't know about you, but that's what those commercials act like. It's like your cousin from Boston. Yeah! Yeah. It's like all these noises in the background too. Drink, 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 drink. You know, all that stuff. You know, on Oktoberfest. But anyway, other than that, I got nothing else to tell you, except I got a book from the library, and it talks about Pennsylvania and Groundhog Day, and other stuff like the U.S. Mint, the Hershey's chocolate, the Liberty Bell, the Gettysburg, or just Gettysburg, not the Gettysburg Address though, and Valley Forge. Yeah. Pennsylvania, or Pennsylvania, for those who don't know. Let's get to a video. Let's get to a video. Hold on a minute. And we'll get to a video. I hope you like my impersonations, you know, because that one was a good one, I thought. Shit. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we can find here. Is red meat actually bad for you? Well, it depends on how much you eat of it, maybe. Actually, go back. Surprise. I need to go back from the piss.
Learn about crypto and get rewarded as you learn with Coinbase Learning
Rewards. Yeah, crypto my ass.
$1 million in crypto rewards since Coinbase Learning Rewards launched in 2018. Start earning? Just watch short videos, answer simple questions about what you've seen, and get rewarded. Get started today on Coinbase.com/learning-rewards.
As a bit of a mid-take of the traditional hardcore icon, you know, within GCW, but he may have ended his GCW tenure with a loss recently at the Hammerstein Bullring show. He has kind of made no secret about his want to make it back to WWE. It's almost something he feels like he could have another run at. He was very unfairly treated, getting himself all the way over the last time and never truly being pushed to his full potential in that role. There's a lot of nostalgia, I think, for Zack Ryder that stems back to those earliest days, rather than maybe some of the stuff that people have forgotten, such as his team with Mojo Rawley and some of the less successful moments of his run. And there's possibly never been a hotter time for him to come back and find a place as well. WWE is star driven, and if there's anybody that's driven to make himself a star, it is indeed Zack Ryder. Obviously, having Chelsea Green as the current Women's United States champion gives him some sort of, might give him some sort of stroke within the locker room, or have at least one very strong voice speaking for him, as well as the fans that were with him the first time that would at least, even if it's just for like a shorter tenure, like a Royal Rumble return and something little between now and WrestleMania, it makes it feel like he would be somebody that at least on the night would be a very popular choice. To pop when his music hits, I think would, if nothing else, justify that one cameo.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be several people on this list that are going to get an amazing reaction if they do show up next Saturday. He'd be one of them for me. Like you say, even disregarding what you could potentially do with him joining that awesome duo of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, adding to that mix could be so much fun as well. Another member of a security detail, who knows? But yeah, like you say, he is one of the standouts in terms of like making a lane for himself after leaving WWE. He has got history with Cody Rhodes, obviously, but also someone like John Cena, who many moons ago was, you know, a good pal when he switched his girl.
But there's quite the big name that we're going to get to on this list who stood in the ring once in Madison Square Garden, hearing Zack Ryder's name getting cheered rather than his own. So there's lots of lore with a bunch of people that we might be speculating.
Another former WWE star that could show up is Santino Marella.
Yeah.
I mean, he popped up in the Women's Royal Rumble, let's not forget, in 2020, I believe it was.
Yeah.
That was actually done quite well, because you're like, what are you doing? When she won the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal at WrestleMania 25, but thankfully it was just like, she came in, went, we're dealing with this, and just got eliminated after
Protected Santino, that wasn't it?
Yeah. But I think it's been over 10 years since Santino's had a WWE match. And obviously, I mean, he's always a popper in Rumbles. He's got a record in it, let's not forget.
He does.
For fastest elimination. He obviously has history in Rumbles, as well as the connection now, what with his involvement with TNA, that opens the door even more wide open for something like this. And, you know, with possibly no R-Truth in the Royal Rumble, been missing from TV for a bit of time now. There's a spot for the sort of comedy character, so you could have, I mean, let's dream, Over-Femi running through people, and then who comes out to challenge him but the man with the secret weapon of the Cobra, Santino.
Yeah.
You could well see Cobras all around. Like Santino comes in, Cobra, everybody's falling down, and then you just encounter someone like a Jacob Fatu, for example, goes to the Cobra, has completely like outkicked his coverage, as it were. Like, oh my god, well, you know, we're not working on you. Just rips the sock straight off the hand, throws it in the crowd.
Eats it.
Eats the Cobra, literally bites the head off the snake, eats the Cobra, throws Santino off the ball.
Damn.
Yeah, he could laugh with it. He ain't winning.
No, he's not, no. And nor are we if we get one of the following entries coming on this list, because dread it, run from it. When you get it, the Hardys will at some point be making their WWE return. This feels inevitable.
You're so excited for this.
Yeah, me too, man. Can I bring my brother? Yeah, look, the Hardys have had a sort of a strange relationship, I think, with wrestling at large over the last several years. Some good, it's the Hardys. Some bad, it's the Hardys. And the TNA relationship, as we have talked about already in this list, and we'll continue to talk about, will indeed open the door for many names to come back. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say there wouldn't be an enormous pop. Oh, yeah, in any WWE building, the very first time you hear the but I would probably be saying, oh no, to oh yeah. So if we can maybe just keep it to Jeff, that's fine by me, at least sort of in the Rumble itself. But yeah, expect the Hardys back as a tag force in WWE, maybe through NXT, maybe through the T.
Desert Fraxium could be loads of fun.
I love the optimism. But certainly for the Royal Rumble, again, we talked about surprise pops, entrance themes and the like. They're both massively over. They're Hall of Famers in waiting, maybe even this year, maybe use the Royal as a way to sort of welcome them to the Hall of Fame. I don't want to just ruin anybody's fun with the amount of people that genuinely love the Hardy Boys. I've got a certain affection for Jeff, and always sort of, I'm sort of defending him in that staff ring. I'm always backing him to get that one last singles run. A bona fide money drawing star at one point in WWE as well. The Hardys, like, they're legends whether you like it or not, they are. And it would be massive if either did appear in Rumble.
Jeff and Punk as well got a lot of history.
Oh yeah! I'll have that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've not been entirely truthful with you, Michael Hamlet, because we've titled this list 10 surprise entrants for the Royal Rumble. And if this man doesn't show up, people might riot. Entry number 7 is, of course, say his name, and here appears the new TNA champion, Joe Hendry. That's not the way that exactly goes, but...
You nailed it. Word for word.
Yeah, he has been arguably one of the first names on the team sheet when it comes to the Royal Rumble for half a year. Yeah. Like, he's the viral star of 2024 from wrestling. He has done stuff in WWE and NXT, and that went so well that people went, well, he's in the Rumble. Then he wins the world title just the other day against Nick Nemeth, and people are like, well, the women's world champions have been in us. He's dead. He's going to be in the Rumble. It's going to be Joe Hendry. And I think he could get, well, one of the biggest pops. I think if we get to number 1, I think that person would genuinely blow the roof off this place. Yeah. But Joe Hendry, like, for someone who has not worked on the main roster for WWE, well, technically, wasn't he like Rusev's lawyer?
He was, yeah.
Who hasn't worked properly on the main roster. He is going to get such an amazing reaction, and this is the gateway to bring them full-time into WWE, perhaps.
Yeah, like, let's not get it twisted. Joe Hendry is more than just an entrance, more than just the kind of the bit that's got him over on the internet. But if there's one place to flex that bit and do a big entrance, it is the Royal Rumble. There's also precedence for this. We've had Mickey James and Jordan Grace enter Royal Rumbles as TNA World Champions, so this is no longer the shock that it might once have been from the first time that we heard the strains of hardcore country. This is the universe we live in now. This kind of shared co-opted space that TNA and WWE have, which does sort of change Hendry entering this. I think a few months ago, as you say, when speculation began that Hendry was going to be in the Rumble, it was felt as though it might be after his TNA time had come to an end. There was different discussions on his contract. Hendry put a tweet out in response to some of the criticism he was getting. We'll see how this goes in January, and now look where we are. He is indeed the TNA World Champion. The Rumble entrance, as you say, seems assured at this point.
Yes, but better, more affordable. You're telling me the new Boost Mobile's got 5G towers? And we're proud to announce that we can get all types of data starting at just $35 per month forever. Forever? Forever? Forever?
Introducing the Telefriend Credit Check.
Hey, check this out. I just got my FICO score for free with the Experian app.
Fred, you always know the best apps.
Go, friends, gather! Kiki, Chris, Jason!
Well, probably just as a cameo, like he has worked, and if the work starts now, as they say, now that he is the world champion, I think his TNA contract runs till later this year at the earliest, and who knows, if that goes really well, maybe he'll see a future there rather than in WWE. But this is a company about capital M moments at the best of times, and there are a bunch of wrestlers, Hendry included, that have probably imagined these moments happening for them. And if nothing else, like ticking that off, getting that Rumble pop, getting that moment. Who knows? Maybe you kind of like have him get a single elimination or something that leaves a story for a rainy day, leaves something
Or
forward.
a Jace challenging Masha Slamovich. Why not have WWE, even the main roster, potentially challenge Joe for the TNA title?
You kind of get the opportunity now to like lay the foundations for matches in WWE, in TNA, and on NXT. There's no like one rule set that works for everybody. And if this, consider that Mickey James and Jordan Grace were well booked and fairly well protected in their Royal Rumble spots, and that was before the business relationship existed between WWE and TNA. It kind of behooves them to treat like Joe Hendry as a world champion quite well. So don't expect this to be like his NXT Battle Royal appearance where the whole roster turned him and threw him out. Expect him to have a half-decent run and make a showing for himself, and maybe even have the commentators say, you want to see more of him? That's where you go. So yeah, it'll probably be a very good night.
Speaking of TNA stars, very quickly, by the way, we haven't included Jordan Grace in this list because that would not be a surprise.
Well, she's not a TNA star at this point. She's literally a WWE superstar. Overdue as well. Can't wait for that.
Absolutely. Who we got next?
We've got Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth. The other side, the other day of the Joe Hendry title switch, of course.
Previous number 30.
Indeed, yeah, making it.
That was a thing that happened.
Well, but no, come on, like, let's not understand that. He retired the Pride December.
So retired 2 weeks right.
Yeah, he had to like sort of celebrate his comeback by working about 6 to 8 like uneventful minutes in a Rumble. Yeah, Nick Nemeth was the one that put over Joe Hendry at TNA Genesis, so he is now a former TNA World Champion. And has kind of found his home there, ultimately. Like, it was a bit weird when he was released about exactly, we talked about it with Mark Cardona and others, like, where exactly do you find your place in wrestling post WWE when you have such a long run and you kind of still so associated with your old name and the WWE brand? Well, I think Nemeth has done it in TNA. Again, a Rumble thing would feel more at this point like he's a TNA interloper rather than any kind of WWE return. I wouldn't foresee this as like, he may come out as Dolph Ziggler, but I wouldn't see this as a return for Dolph Ziggler to WWE.
No, he'd get his biggest pop in a Rumble, I'd say, if he comes out.
Yeah, I think at this point I would argue the case for him actually working as Nick Nemeth, but WWE might just have their thing. It's a bit like how JBL returned on Raw, and he's been doing this gimmick everywhere as this outlaw clothesline people that don't respect the business, and then he just rocks up the smiling JBL on Raw. Maybe they'll just want Dolph as Dolph rather than former TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth. But again, another figure that is extremely popular with a section of the fan base, is remembered enough by WWE's like seemingly younger fan base. I mean, you know, he's not been on that long that they won't remember who he was. He was NXT champion, you know, as recent as 2022. So it was like he was doing nothing in his
Got one with Obafemi in there, maybe.
We'll take incredible bumps for someone like an Obafemi. We'll take a cool elimination for whoever throws him out. And again, the TNA thing, we keep going back to this. Nobody's an outside shop at this point. You know, the door is flung wide open.
Moving on to entry number 5, someone I would love to see return in the Women's Royal Rumble match is Alexa Bliss. Obviously, she's been away. She has had a child. She has had a nasty health scare as well, which is great to hear that she's got past that. But there's been speculation on, you know, numerous major WWE female stars coming back in the next few months, basically, on this road to a huge WrestleMania. Now they're on Netflix as well. We've talked about Charlotte Flair, we've talked about Becky Lynch, and you've got to include Alexa Bliss in that conversation. Whether or not you want to bring her back and associate her with the Wyatt 6 storyline, obviously she's got a great deal of history with the Wyatt family over the years. I don't know. Personally, I'd just like to see her back trying to win world titles again, because I think that was some of her best work. And she isn't my pick to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't actually know who is right now. But a return for her would be just fantastic.
Alexa had the reputation once upon a time of being the surprise standout in a division that was supposed to be anchored by the Four Horsemen. Barbarian in 2016 had been called up, and Alexa Bliss kind of like got in front of them ultimately as somebody that could like lead SmackDown initially as a champion, then Raw, and became a big star on her own terms. She was we saw her host WrestleMania 35, New York, New Jersey at MetLife, and not in that kind of role where ultimately you've just fallen out of favour, you haven't got a match. It was like, you've got about 20 things to do tonight. You know, like, it was seen as a star role for her if she couldn't have a match. It's interesting to try and work out where the women fit into this WrestleMania, because yes, WrestleMania feels massive. Yes, the title matches will take up significant amounts of time on night 1 and night 2, but the booking of the Rumble so far has been pretty pathetic. If you compare the two matches so far and look at kind of the prestige that's been placed on this men's Rumble in terms of the quality of the people that are announcing, in terms of the potential of the surprises, more will come in this list. You're just not seeing that Rumble, like WWE not trying to harness that hype, not trying to kind of take advantage of what is just as golden an opportunity for the women as it is for the men. You know, there's going to be people point at WrestleMania signs from the women's division for, what now, 4 singles titles, and potentially a set of tags as well. Been disappointed in that. And yes, this time, as we record this, for WWE to kind of make the best of that with what television time remains, but you sense that surprises will be more important and integral in the women's matches. You mentioned Becky, you mentioned Charlotte, we're talking here about Alexa Bliss. Feels like the surprises are a necessity in the women's rather than just a bonus of the men's.
And we have possibly the biggest women's surprise still to come on this list.
Yeah, I'm pretty buzzed for that. Yeah.
Who you got next?
Well, I'm actually pretty buzzed for the next one as well, because it's not just the Costco guys that bring the boom. The pro wrestling, this guy was doing it first, and what a delight he's been on WWE TV as a commentator. We've all kind of fallen in love with his partnership with Joe Tessitore.
Yes.
And as much as I don't particularly need a throwback to the days of Commentators surprising everybody out there in the Rumble, and the Rumble.
Rumbley's one was crap, wasn't it?
Yeah, like the year when all three did it, was it Booker, King, and Cole?
You don't have actual wrestlers, have you?
Booker, King, Cole. I was not a jolly old soul watching that Rumble. But it would be different if, like, very briefly, Wade Barrett...
Very briefly, I mean, he wins the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, sorry, going in number one, me and Iron Man winning the whole thing. Joe Tessitore being shocked at his new best mate, suddenly taking off the suit and... Jesus Christ, you're jacked under there, mate. Like, he's a big guy, we always see his size has always helped him. There was a brief moment where he kind of teased a bit of dissension with his mate Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
And then there was rumours we were reporting a little while back that, you know, there was... in conversation as a possible WrestleMania. I don't think any of that's happening, but certainly if you wanted to kind of remind everybody just what an awful man Drew McIntyre is, the idea that they briefly look like...
We're in a limestone cave, letting extreme residue build up to put finished jet ride to the test. Dishwashers are designed to use jet ride to defend against tough residues for a practically spotless shine.
At Verizon, we'll pay off your old phone. And you'll get iPhone 16 on us.
Neurofiber helps support a more balanced gut with 8 grams of fiber. Reach for a more balanced gut. Learn about crypto and get rewarded as you learn with Coinbase Learning Rewards. We've paid out over $100 million in crypto rewards.
Like allies only for Drew to hoy him out the ring. Could make for a nice spot. A sentimental favourite to pretty much everybody, Wade Barrett, at this point. I think he could do much worse if you're going to do a novelty spot with Gear.
Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, I'm a bit of a fan of Wade Barrett.
Come on.
He was